you've ever been concerned about being sent to jail, then you need to watch this video because you, yeah you, could be next. We need to talk about this very poignant issue, and that is internet jail, because people all around the world are being sent to internet jail, and I'm currently locked up, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But the reason this caught my attention recently is because the Twitter police are out locking people up, banning them from Twitter because they're doing something that I didn't know was an issue. And the issue is dead name.
Dead naming is, it's banned. So say if you decide tomorrow to become a woman and you're like, I'm no longer Brian, I'm Brianina. Okay, Brianna, but you're still a man. And then boom, that's dead naming. You can't call someone something other than their preferred gender.
Now, you may be thinking, okay, why the fuck would I do that? It's a bit of a piece of shit move. And it is. If someone wants to be a man, let them be a man. If someone wants to be a woman, let them be a woman. Who gives a shit, right? But the real problem here lies with the control of the speech of people using this public platform. Now, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be an asshole, as I've already said. But you also shouldn't be banned from something because you use someone's actual name. This is also happening in the public. As you can see here, a man who has transitioned into a woman, and you can see here she's just being extremely aggressive.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
Both of you guys?
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was in general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
I don't know if they intended to dead name them, but they have, okay? And in the young person who's working behind the counter there, in their defense, I'm sorry, but you still do look like a dude, okay? I'm not being a horrible person here, I'm just saying how it is. I mean, if you want to be a woman, then that's awesome. As I've said, I wish you all the happiness in the world. But you have to understand that some people might make that mistake. It's a different story if you're being a complete fuckwit behind the counter and having a go at this person who's trying to change the way they exist. And honestly, I know people just say all these things about transgender people that, you know, they shouldn't be doing this and they shouldn't. Who gives a fuck, all right? Life is far too short to give a shit about that. And the seriousness of this situation has been called out by Orange is the New Black trans actor who said that this is a form of violence against trans people. Now, to that, I just say that's hilarious and ridiculous. This is not a form of violence. This is just people either being mistaken or being an asshole. Guess what? In a perfect world, you could go from being a man to a woman tomorrow and everyone would go from calling you Graham to Sandy, all right? Great, fantastic, but that's not the world we live in. We have assholes all around us and you cannot live your life terrified of what people are going to say about you. You will just be a constant mess. Don't fucking rely on other people for external happiness. This happiness must come from within, ladies and gentlemen. Or from the videos that I post on a weekly basis. You can now subscribe, fantastic, wonderful. And we're gonna hit 1 million subscribers by my birthday on the 14th of July. But one of the issues that I see with dead naming is pretending that that person never existed. Like in the record books, if you go to Wikipedia now, Caitlyn Jenner, who has transitioned from a man, Bruce, into a woman, Caitlyn, apparently she won the men's decathlon in the 70s. And she also fathered several children. She also killed a woman in the car. Anyway, we won't go into that, but yeah, people forget about that, don't they? But this online jail system is starting to be reflected in real life. For example, this woman here was arrested and detained in her own home for 7 hours because of a transphobic comment that she made on the internet. I mean, can you imagine a world where we get fucking locked up for the shit we say online? The internet is basically just horrible pieces of shit coming together in a congregation, all right? If you went through my YouTube comments, there would be more subpoenas handed out than a fucking bikey drug bust, all right? So many people would be arrested and fucking as they should. You fucking have a go at my hairline, I'll fucking come after you. This is what I'm concerned about, because if one person can be arrested, then that means we all can. Could you imagine a world where our speech, much like George Orwell's 1984, it is dictated what we can and cannot say by the powers that be. That is a terrifying world to be a part of and something we absolutely should talk about. I want to know what you think in the comment section below. But here's the most fucked up thing of this whole situation. You will go to internet jail for, on Twitter, for example, dead naming someone or being referred to as racist or sexist or all those things that are just terms that people use to discredit someone's comments. Even though there are people who exist who are those horrible things, those terms are thrown around so loosely now, they are losing all meaning. But here's the fucked up thing. And the fucked up thing that I'm going to bring up right now, and the reason that I'm currently in internet jail on Facebook, is this email. Now, this email was sent to me 3 weeks ago by a young lady from England. Originally, I thought, fuck it, I'm going to post this on my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Facebook page. And within about 15 minutes, it had tens of thousands of likes and people were blowing up. It got to the point where people were contacting her HR department at her work, trying to get her fired. And I thought to myself, okay, even though this woman has said this horrible, heinous piece of shit thing to me, I don't want her to lose a job. I don't want her life to be affected just because I have power on the internet. Power that I absolutely deserve because I'm amazing. But I don't want her to suffer greatly just because she's an asshole. But here's the thing that got me, is I took that post down and I re-uploaded it and blurred her name out. 2 days later, I get a message from Facebook saying I've breached the terms and conditions, the community service, all that bullshit, and now I'm banned for 30 days from posting on Facebook. Thankfully, I have a second account that I can post like things to my Facebook page, but at the moment, I can't even message my friends back who messaged me on Facebook or talk to my mum and send her fucking dog memes. I'm really struggling. But it's just an absolute preposterous situation. Preposterous. Can't pronounce words. That's okay. It's so ridiculous that this is the world we live in, where you can't dead name someone, but you can tell someone to end their life. I thought that the best way to deal with this situation, I'm banned, I've got this horrible email, and let's just turn it into a positive situation. Because at the moment, suicide is the biggest killer of young people worldwide. And 75% of the people who kill themselves are young men. So obviously there is an issue somewhere. So from me to you, if at this very point in your life or down the track, or perhaps you're dealing with something else, if you're not feeling yourself, if you're not feeling great, if you're struggling to get through every day, then of course, fix your diet, fix your fucking exercise regime, try and be happy. Try and get some meditation in. Fix your relationship, your family problems. And if that doesn't work, go and see your doctor, okay? Talk to them, see a psychologist. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I've done it. And fuck me. You'd think I'd be the happiest person alive, but we all have our struggles, and that is the point I'm trying to get across here. So forget dead naming, fuck that. Forget emails from horrible people. What we should be focusing on here is stop telling people to kill themselves. Because perhaps if it wasn't me, this strong-minded, bearded fucking champion, that email could have gone to somebody else and they could have done it. And fuck that. No life is worth losing over anything, particularly something so petty as disagreeing with the things that someone says. I love yous all, and I'll see you very soon. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. And honestly, just don't be a cunt. It's bye.